Hello guys, my name is Nick and you are watching The Sports Entertainer. Make sure you have subscribed to our channel with post notifications turned on so that you never miss out on one of our daily WWE videos. Well guys, it's becoming very evident that Vince McMahon's first response to the dwindling ratings and overall viewership of Raw and SmackDown Live lately has been to announce the returns of legends and major caliber superstars, most recently Bill Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and The Undertaker, over trying to create better quality shows with more intriguing storylines, something that has justifiably infuriated Triple H backstage to quite an extent, who has tried his best to convince McMahon that the WWE needs a huge overhaul from a creative standpoint. Regardless, Vince is apparently intent that bringing back old names will help keep fans engaged with the product. And not surprisingly, even though the upcoming SuperShowDown in Saudi Arabia on June 7th has yet to happen, there are now rumors swirling around that McMahon is getting in touch with arguably the most prolific WWE icon of all time, that man being Stone Cold Steve Austin, to return for the ring for the company's next appearance in Saudi Arabia on November 1st, 2019, which is the crown jewel show. For those of you unaware, Brock Lesnar is reportedly set to face off against Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship on June 7th, a decision that will most likely not sit well with most fans. But when it comes to the WWE's next pay-per-view event hailing from Saudi Arabia in November, a few sources have noted that Vince hopes to fulfill a dream match for some fans, that being the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar going one-on-one against the returning Stone Cold Steve Austin. Whether or not the Universal title would be involved remains to be seen, because as much as this does pain us to report, there's now speculation that Brock Lesnar could be defeating Seth Rollins at the SuperShowdown to reclaim the Universal title in an effort to combat the declining Monday Night Raw viewership. As of right now, there's no news as to whether or not Stone Cold Steve Austin has agreed or declined Vince's demands for a big return, but there's no doubt that this latest bit of news has confirmed a couple of suspicions that many intuitive fans had. Upon hearing this speculation, we contacted one of our sources regarding why Vince McMahon is continuously recruiting such high caliber stars for the WWE's events in Saudi Arabia and not other big shows in the States. A perfect example of this being The Undertaker missing WrestleMania 35, yet will wrestle at the SuperShowdown on June 7th. The answer we received definitely does make a lot of sense, and it clarifies that there is more to the extremely lucrative deal between Saudi Arabia and WWE than meets the eyes. We were informed that the Saudi government have a huge amount of say as to who they desire to see perform at the WWE shows in Saudi Arabia, hence why Shawn Michaels was essentially forced out of retirement last year with a hefty paycheck, and why Goldberg is being brought back this year, because while the WWE is making bucket loads of money from Saudi Arabia, they are being instructed by their Saudi partners as to which big names they would like to see compete. Apparently, despite being long since retired from professional wrestling, the Saudi prince has an interest in having Steve Austin make an in-ring comeback, as they believe that it would be a very marketable name to promote for the show. Luckily for Vince McMahon, with a 10-year partnership with Saudi Arabia, McMahon has a huge excess of capital to utilize for luring the big names back into the ring, and considering Shawn Michaels of all wrestlers was able to be convinced to return from retirement despite stating many times that he had no intention of doing so, there's always that chance that Austin would come to accept Vince's return demands if the price was right. However, considering Steve Austin has mentioned numerous times, some of them being quite recently, that he has no desire to return, it will be very interesting to see if Vince McMahon will be able to beg Stone Cold Steve Austin into returning to appease their Saudi partners, or who Vince would decide to pull out of his hat instead to replace Austin if he refused. With all this being said, would you guys firstly be interested in seeing Stone Cold make an in-ring comeback, even if it was just one appearance in Saudi Arabia? And if so, is a match against Brock Lesnar of any interest to you? Make sure you sound off in the comment section down below and do give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter. Thanks for watching The Sports Entertainer. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also be sure that you hit that subscribe button for all of our daily WWE videos.